I'm Delusion Dispeller, and I'm going to hopefully finish up the last little bit of this information about my former marriage to the narcissist. Another thing that I told you, he was into porn. Well, he would download this onto our TV through cable and onto my computer, and he would say that he didn't know how it got there when I confronted him. Our cable bill would be like sky high, and I knew I didn't order any of it. And he'd say, I don't know, maybe the kids were watching it. My kids, they were not into porn. I guarantee you most of them didn't know what porn was, or at least I didn't think they did. So what I did was I said, to tell you what, I'm going to help you break your little addiction. I'm putting a password on the cable box. And I did, and amazingly, no more big high cable bills. But oh no, he didn't know how the porn got there. He lied about putting porn on my computer. I would open it up and there were all kinds of files of disgusting stuff on there. And the reason I know now for sure that that was from him is that recently he brought his computer over for my current husband to fix, and there were all kinds of porn files on there. So I know he goes to porn sites and was doing that during our marriage and lying about it. His excuse for it was, oh, I'm trying to improve our marriage. I'm trying to improve that part of our marriage. I'm trying to learn some tips. And as far as like the magazines and stuff, oh, I just read the articles. They have interesting articles in them. Okay, right. Oldest lie in the book. So yeah, he would lie about that. And I would see all kinds of files coming up on my computer and crashing it because of that garbage. Sometimes we would have ex-convicts staying in our house. Now, one time there was a guy that I was kind of like his spiritual mom, and his pastor and my pastor set us up with a situation where we would take him in. He was trying to get back on his feet. He was a good guy. He had a good heart. However, he had some friends that were pretty shady that ended up coming over into my house, and it turned out there was a drug deal going down, and I grabbed my kids and jumped out the back door, and because we didn't have like a porch back there, so we jumped out and ran to the neighbors and called the police, and they took him off. It turned out he had a warrant for his arrest, and he was escaping whatever that's called. He was trying to get away from the law, and we didn't know that, and apparently the pastor guy didn't know that either. What? A warrant? Yeah, a warrant. My husband set me straight. A warrant for their arrest, yeah. The other guy is certifiably mentally insane. I know that from reputable sources who work with him regularly. So, we were in danger and didn't know it, and thankfully God's hand was on us during the time. I have a big heart, and I've put myself and my children in situations that I never should have. But it was because I wanted to do what I believe the Bible said to do, you know, take care of the widows and the orphans and bring in the strangers and love your enemies and love your neighbor. And, you know, you got to be careful and take the Bible in balance. That's why a lot of people have been hurt and martyred and harmed for the sake of Christ. And I don't believe I'm called to that. So you have to balance everything. Another thing with my ex-husband, he would tell the girls, oh, he would tell me that my girls, my daughters, were telling him that they didn't have a mother, that I was never around, I didn't spend any time with them. And I would go and ask them about this, and they'd say, no, we didn't say that. You spend time with us, Mom. You read to us. You take us to the library. You watch movies with us. I mean, they didn't feel that way, but he was trying to paint this picture to me that I was neglecting my children. I couldn't work jobs on a regular basis, which has hurt my work record years later, as a matter of fact, because I would come home and my kids would be bleeding or bruised or beat up or whatever, usually because they got in fights with each other. And when I would confront him about it, he'd say, oh, they're fine. It's not a big deal. Don't make a big deal out of it. They're fine. And then he would say, like, aren't you kids? And of course they'd agree with them. Why would they disagree? They were little kids. Another time, we had a dog, a chow dog, and it bit my daughter's friend. Instead of my ex-husband arranging for us to bring the dog to obedience school so that we could keep our dog, he wouldn't do anything about it. Instead, the dog ended up biting another girl, And finally, we had to take him to the pound and have him put to sleep. So basically, I was put in situations, my children were put in situations that were dangerous, hazardous. Some of them were really deadly, and he didn't care. And to this day, he doesn't care about stuff like that. So it's very difficult when my daughter goes for visiting rights with him to just trust him to take care of her. So we often send her with a phone or some way to contact us because we don't know what's going on with him. So he's a different type of narcissist. He may even be a little bit Asperger's or psychopathic. I'm not really sure. We still see him from time to time because we do stuff with the family because I still have other daughters by him. But the point is, I can relate to what you've been through if you're married to one or dating one. And I will always tell you to get out of the situation if it's safe to do so. You don't deserve to be treated like that, like an object, like someone that's not cared about and cherished and treated like a human being. So I hope anyways you learned a little bit more about me and what brought me to the point that I'm at. Oh, and by the way, if you wonder, well, does he know that you're making these videos about him? And yeah, he's well aware of it. When I told him I was going to start making videos exposing him as a narcissist, his comment was, well, are you making money from it? As long as you're making money, I don't care. Good for you, good for you. He was all about money. He didn't care that I was exposing him in a bad light. So, you know, a lot of narcissists would have a big problem with that because they always want to be seen as perfect. But his pride was, he didn't care whether he was seen as perfect or all good or notorious. It didn't matter as long as he had some sort of supply of people looking at him and in awe or fear or whatever it was. So, have a great day. Thanks for watching my videos. I'm going to go and eat some supper and spend time with my new family now. Have a good day, good night, whatever it is, and God bless you.